Hello everyone, and welcome to the first of hopefully many of my YouTube videos. I will be doing hidden object walkthroughs, and for my first one I decided to do Sherlock Holmes and the Hound of the Baskervilles. It came out in 2010, published by Frogwares. And before we get started, I'd like to explain sort of how my videos will work. Obviously this is going to be a walkthrough and review of the game. But something I'd like to focus on with hidden object games is what I believe are the three most important aspects. Again, start this loading. So these I feel are the three things that really make a hidden object game good. The first and most obvious is the actual gameplay. Do we have a good game? Is it fun? Is it engaging? Does it provide a suitable challenge to the player? The second, and what probably most of the money that goes into these games is for, is the artwork and animation for cutscenes. The art in this game is very beautiful and very in-depth. And so the importance of the art and animation is to create this immersive atmosphere in the game, so you can really get into it and sort of put yourself in that place, and it gets you very excited. So that's obviously important. And the third, and what I feel is the most important in any hidden object game, is the storyline. Majority of these, you're on some sort of quest, you're trying to save a loved one, you're trying to solve a mystery, like in this one. And so the importance of the story is it a good story? Is it something you actually want to get to the end to? Do you feel the need to solve the mystery? Are you curious? And so the story in this one is obviously sort of a spin-off of Arthur Conan Doyle's The Hound of the Baskervilles, one of the 4 Sherlock Holmes novels he wrote, and to this day it is still pretty much the most popular out of all the Sherlock Holmes stories. It's still bought all around the globe in numerous languages. And this one, it sort of has the twist of, if you've ever read Sherlock Holmes, then you know that nothing supernatural ever happens, but as you can see right here from the giant dog right there on the front, that this obviously is going to involve a little supernatural, which is going to be quite interesting to see. So obviously, you see my channel name, you'll know I'm a huge Sherlock Holmes nut, so that's why I decided to do this. And let's get started. We are going to do easy today. Maybe later I'll do hard. And I'm going to shut up now.
It seems that we have a visitor, Holmes.
Indeed. Come in. Hello, Sir Henry Baskerville. Did you have a good trip?
But how do you know who I am? I had not announced my visit.
By looking at your dress, it is totally unsuited to our wet English weather. This allowed me to deduce that you came here in a hurry and carrying the bare minimum in your luggage. Then there is a blue ink stain on your thumb, the same blue ink used by the passenger service at Waterloo station to print their tickets. Your ticket has stained your thumb because of the rain. Also, my attention was attracted to your cufflinks with the initials HB, but still I had not yet made the connection with the famous Baskerville family. It is by remembering a Times article that I deduced your identity. It was telling of the odd death of Charles Baskerville and the likely return of his nephew and only heir, Henry.
Brilliant. Your reputation is well-deserved, Mr. Holmes. But let me explain the purpose of my visit.
You do not believe in legends, and you would like to clear the circumstances of your uncle's death. You need a factual, logical, and rational explanation of what some call the curse of the Baskervilles. And who else, in all modesty, but Sherlock Holmes and his faithful friend Dr. Watson would be able to solve such a mystery? Watson, my friend, pack your bags. We're leaving for Baskerville Hall. Tell us about the curse of the Baskervilles, Henry.
Its origin dates back to my ancestor, Hugo Baskerville. It is said he was a vile person who earned the wrath of the devil. After his death, all our ancestors seemed to come to bad ends at Baskerville Hall. At the scene of each death, there were always dog or wolf tracks, but gigantic. Thus, over the centuries, a legend was built, that of a creature from hell, the Hound of the Baskervilles. My uncle was sure that it was a reality. He was convinced that the beast would take him sooner or later, as it took all those our lineage. With his last letter, he sent me this medallion. According to Charles, it was needed to break the curse of the Baskervilles, but he did not know how to use it. Do you believe in this legend, Mr. Holmes?
We'll have to exhaust all other hypotheses before falling back on that one. Baskerville Hall in sight.
So of course Holmes is not going to believe in a hellhound until he sees it.
Holmes, Doctor, welcome to Baskerville Hall. The servants are not here to welcome us, I fear. They were severely affected by the death of my uncle and have since retired.
The family portraits gallery, I assume. But why such expressions on their faces?
These pictures have not always been so disturbing. According to my uncle, the changes in the paintings occurred after the violent death of the portrayed Baskerville. It appears to be one of the effects of the curse.
Have you noticed? The family coats of arms under the pictures are missing.
Indeed, it is an interesting point to begin our investigation. Where can these coats of arms be, and why did they disappear?
Let's try to find them. I cannot stay here any longer. The sight of those ghastly faces is unbearable.
So I really don't care for tutorials. I find them to be annoying most of the time. This here, Louisa's door. We can't get in there yet. We'll get in there soon. Here's the first part. The first coat of arms we're going to find. They all look exactly the same. There's really no much difference in them apart from the way they wind up chopped. And there's a sparkly Roger's door lock piece. And so I'd like to take a minute to talk about the Holmes we see here, who, at least to me, seems very similar to the portrayal by Jeremy Brett, except for the voice. This guy has a bit of a higher voice, whereas Jeremy Brett has that very low voice. And I only recently started watching the Granada series with Brett. When I first got into Holmes, I got in through the Benedict Cumberbatch show, BBC Sherlock. And because I wound up playing this game first, I actually was under the impression for a long time, or at least this game was probably part of the reason, that Brett had a higher voice than he did. So I was actually kind of shocked the first time I watched that, hear that voice. A little tidbit you might find interesting, you might not. So this is our first puzzle, the lock to Roger Baskerville's door. Easy, we only need to find that one piece that was right there. This is pretty straightforward. We sort of connect it all to where yellow's touching yellow, blue's touching blue. No big problem. Voila. Yeah. Yes, I had time to breathe.
Sir Roger Baskerville is certainly one of the most famous hunters in all of Great Britain.
Indeed, Dr. Watson, my grandfather spent a large part of his life traveling the colonies of the Empire to stalk the largest predators in the world.
Let us try to learn more about the tragic death of Sir Roger Baskerville. Such a distinguished hunter could not possibly have been killed by a simple dog.
No, he couldn't have. We get that little flash. I'm not sure why, but we do. So this is obviously trying to grab our attention. The Book of the Baskervilles, which is our map. Those are honors. Those are all the achievements you can win, that, like the win thing we just saw. Yep. Like that. And there's a curtain ribbon. That's always helpful. You never know when you need to tie some back. There's paper. There's a gem here, a crystal eye. This crystal jewel has the shape of an eye. It seems to vibrate very slightly. And a curtain. Should open the curtain. A lot of animals in here. This guy really did like to hunt. And there's the dog. Why do we not talk about the dog showing up in the window? I don't know. I'm gonna grab the horn here. And so this is our first hidden object scene. And so you'll notice that I tend to go in a specific order with these things. Why do I do that? That's just sort of me being a tiny bit OCD. Sorry if it annoys you. And where's the bell? That was the bell. I tried clicking on it, didn't I? Binoculars. 3 items, 3 seconds. Yeah. Fox tail. There it is. Pair of gloves. A horse head. Where's the horse head? There. Oh, there they are. Horse heads. Heads. Oiler. A knife. See a bunch of swords. Where's the knife? Where's the knife? Hook scale. What's that do? You played your HO with less than 10 wrong clicks. You are precise and methodical. Holmes would love that. So yeah, those are the kind of achievements you get. Oh, a crossbow piece. And another knife. You can never have too many knives in these games. It's rusted. We can take our oiler that we just found. And log it. Okay. Why on earth conceal lever in a fireplace? So you don't find it. Okay, so we need water. I'm never seeing the picture right here. There we go. And we can pull the lever now. Oh. I saw something. There's a piece of coal. Never know when you might need a piece of coal.
A unicorn, a dragon, a werewolf? I can't believe my eyes.
Don't let appearances fool you, Henry.
Dr. Watson is right. It is unlikely that these fantastic animals ever existed. It is, rather, a matter of a remarkable job of taxidermy.
Yeah, so obviously Sir Roger decided to have a little fun and that's this iguana. So the horn goes that, and we get the second crystal eye. See, that's another thing this game does is when a certain area needs multiples of the same thing. Once you get all of those things, it'll just give you the option of going back to wherever. So you collected both the eyes. Do you want to visit that dog head you noticed above the fireplace? That's where the eyes go. I'm not going to do that because I want to look around here a little bit more. So, we've got a cloth, but they want the cloth wet first. Maybe. So, the knife. Yep. And we see a fresco here. And this we have to sort of determine which animal they wanted depicted on the fresco. And the way you really figure these out is eventually you're going to come across a point that, well, doesn't have any of it. And the cracks over here in the fresco sort of help a little bit. Because obviously you need those cracks in there. So it's something with wings. Some sort of angel or something. Maybe a demon. And based on the shape of the wings, I'm leaning towards demon. So yeah, we solve the puzzle. And we get a key, which we stick into the padlock here. And the second part of Roger's coat of arms. So yeah, we'll go back up now. And you notice the whiskey here. Well, we get the cloth and the whiskey. We have a very wet, very drunk cloth. And apparently that's the, well, wipe off that sign. So we want to save that symbol. So we take a etching of it. And we see a werewolf up there. But we need the full crossbow. We've only got one part to get that down. So let's go ahead and go to the wolf's head. Find the lack of eyes in this wolf's head strange, my friends. Yeah, it's a little strange. So we'll stick the crystals. Crystal eye seems to react with something. It's glowing. And we put both in there. Both eyes are in place. Do you also feel that strange sensation, gentlemen? As if something had just changed in this room. Because something has. Now to the past. So we click the head.
What happened? Where are we?
I believe the correct question is rather, when are we?
Holmes automatically decides, okay, well, we travel back in time.
What do you mean, Holmes?
Look at these traces of struggle. Look at the shape of the room, its decoration. Everything appears as if Sir Roger was just killed. Smell the air. The odours of gunpowder and blood are still fresh.
You don't really think that we went back in time, do you?
Normally I would reply no and laugh at your naivety. But for now, I'd rather not say anything. I do not know how or why, but it seems that we have stepped back to a few minutes after the death of Sir Roger. There is always an explanation. Be patient.
So yeah, probably the best thing about this game is seeing Holmes deal with a genuine supernatural event. Key there. Because, you know, it's something we never really see in the books, or I think there's very few adaptations that deal with that. There's one adaptation. Apparently somebody decided to stick Holmes in Jurassic Park. I'm not sure why. And so here's our second hidden object. We need belts. But yes, watching Holmes sort of... Because he's very nonchalant about the fact that he's witnessing time travel and magic and a hellhound in front of him. He's very much, okay, this exists. Let's just finish this case and go back to the world of mortality or normalcy. Bird skull. Bottle, a hunting horn. I need 2 of those. But I do very much enjoy watching Holmes process magic. And the other 2. Henry and Watson do present more shock and awe at it all. But ultimately everybody's very calm at the fact that we do actually have a hound from hell chasing after this man and his family. Another point I meant to mention earlier is that this game is sort of unique in the fact that throughout the whole thing you have 3 people doing this quest together. Usually in hidden object games it's one person on this quest all on their own. They'll interact with other people and they'll get help from other people. They'll get help from other people occasionally, but it's ultimately they're on their own. They'll go into these very scary places alone. But here, no, you're with friends. Yeah, sharpshooter award. Scheme piece. Yeah, we're gonna find pieces of this all throughout the game. And a newspaper.
Look at this copy of the Times. It's almost 90 years old. Either it is perfectly kept, or we're really at the beginning of the century.
Well, we're at the beginning of the century, so here's our crossbow. We're gonna put that piece on there. Need the arrow. And now we have a wonderful ready-to-use crossbow. Another coat of arms. They give you sparkles to help you find stuff you need. A vase. There's something in there, but we can't get to it yet. Okay, and I think that's all we can really do here for now. So back to the present. Modern day. Victorian England. We'll take our crossbow, and we'll go ahead and stab away. Apparently doing that killed him, or set him on fire. And that's number 4 in the coat of arms. Oh, I missed that one. There's the last piece.
We have all the pieces of the coat of arms of Sir Roger Baskerville. Let's go to his portrait.
So as you can see, location completed. That means there's literally nothing more to do in this room for the rest of the game. Which is kind of nice that they gave us that. We know we never have to come back here. So, do we want to go ahead and get there? Yeah, what the heck. We'll just go ahead and just teleport right there. So here's Sir Roger looking very gloomy in the afterlife. Take his coat of arms, stick it in there. His ghost is now free.
The painting seems to be regaining its original colours, as if the curse was lifted.
Holmes, Watson, look! By inserting the arms, we trigger a mechanism. A secret cache. There's something inside.
The diameter of this jewel seems to perfectly match the empty slot on the medallion.
I think Sir Roger has given us an important element for our investigation. Look, there's a note in the back of the jewel. Physical power and brute force. Amazing! The medallion seems to react to the presence of the jewel. It vibrates. Let us try to use it. Perhaps on the boards that block the door to Louisa's room.
So yes, so the medallion, which is also our hint button. You take these little jewels. I guess they're jewels. Yep, so this gives us the power of strength. Of course, a hunter is going to have the strength medallion. And so now we can get into Louisa's room.
Indeed, it seems that the powers of this locket give us interesting perspectives.
Perspectives, that's the word.
Powers? Different. Let's not sink into superstition.
Then what explanation do you have, Holmes? You're an average man 2 seconds ago, and now you are able to literally rip nailed-on planks without any sort of crowbarring. So here's Louisa's room.
This is Louisa's room. She was a great actress. The poor woman did not live long enough to have the career she deserved.
Do you know how she tried to escape the beast?
According to my uncle, she tried to escape reality by creating a world of her imagination. She hid there thinking she could escape her fate, but the curse took her anyway.
And what of this refuge she created?
My uncle found Louisa's writing speaking of a world behind the mirror. She called it her shelter, but Charles never found out what it was exactly.
World behind the mirror. So over here is the mirror. And we're missing 5 items, which are the candles here. And I think we have another mirror that we need to find. Anyway, here's the first part of Louisa's coat of arms. Again, not much difference, or I guess there's a difference in color. Here's another one. This one's been sliced very thinly. Something in her hand. We can't get to it yet. The hat. Putting the hat on helps. Opening the eyes, and that gives us our first crystal eye. We have a little box here. So we have to move the colored gems into the properly colored slots within 10 moves. And that's the real pain in it all, is that we have 10 moves. Okay, so let's see how this goes. Oh, here we go. I did it right. Usually I have to go through it a couple times. Yay! You completed 3 puzzles in a row without skipping. I try not to use skips. We have a little key and a fang. What do we need the fang for? There's that one. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna go outside. We're gonna explore a little bit more of the house. A hall. There's good old Hugo, who we just saw murdering a woman. Doesn't look very friendly. Understatement. A dark place we can't see. That's locked. James' room, which we can't get to. And kitchen's locked. Can't remember. Can we use the little key here? Where can we use the little key? Okay. Let's go back in here for a sec. It's missing a handle. Thinking part. So we'll keep it there. So yeah, I did go in the wardrobe. And so, another hidden object, the wardrobe. Button. A doll over here. A glove. A kiss, aka a lipstick mark. A jewel box down here. Perfume. Scarf. That is the scarf. A heel. A shell. Scratch marks, I'm assuming from the dog. Teapot. Umbrellas. And lastly, the purse. So we get a glove. Less than 3 minutes each. So I'm a dog fighter. 3 HO in a row without a hint. Best mom. Why is it best mom? That doesn't really make sense. Did I have time to breathe? Yes, I had time to breathe. No pain. And put the glove on. And there's the second fang. Oh right, the tiger in Roger's room. I forgot about that. Yeah, this guy. He needs fangs. And there's the other crystal eye. Okay, so I use the teleport. The eyes are in place. Will we really relive this strange experience of time travel? Yes, we will. To the past.
Here we are again in the past. My God, what a savagery.
A brutal crime, Henry. A brutal crime.
Sadly, it reminds me of our investigation of the crimes of the Ripper of Whitechapel. Awful.
Yeah, there's another game where Holmes has to deal with Jack the Ripper. I've not played that one yet. Hopefully I will in the future. That sounds interesting. A piece, part of James' lock, which we saw a few minutes ago. So our hidden object here. So yeah, the story in this is quite interesting, sort of taking the Hound of the Baskervilles and actually making it supernatural, and we learn about sort of all Henry's ancestors. They're all very accomplished and very talented people. Roger was a hunter, Louisa was an actress, we're gonna see a doctor, an artist, we're gonna see all sorts of people. There's a candle, know, it may not look like a candle, but that is the candle. And all the while we're trying to sort of figure out... At one point, Holmes just does finally accept, okay, we've got a demon hound. We need to get rid of it. We need to banish it back to hell. Glove. Where's the glove? We can't find the glove. There it is! Okay. So... you get that little music in the background, which is kind of nice. Very fitting with the mood. There's perfume. Moon mask. And finally, the bottle. So I get the black candle, which is one of the things we need for the mirror thing back in the present. Clock. This is missing several gears. Okay. A marionette, but no controls. Piece of painting. Vase, which we can use our strength thing on. Power holder, just can use it 3 times. It gives us a piece of lock that we'll use later on. Another coat of arms piece, the 3rd. Some of the coat of arms you find really quick, some you have to wait forever. And there's a gear. Alright, I think we're good. Another coat of arms. 4. Already we've got the 4th. I think that's good for now. And we come back and there's a hidden object. Candles. Find all the candles. 15. It's easy to find them quick like that when you're looking for the same thing. Just over and over. Okay. 1 left. There it is. Test of patience. Finish that quick before I can. Lord Brainstorm. Okay. So I said something about gears in Sir Roger's room. Which, of course, the hidden object scene. That's why we didn't find them before. Oh, bullet casings. The cage. The hidden objects here are relatively easy. They're pretty good. They're pretty standard. Oddly enough, in the hidden object games, the hidden object scenes are probably the least interesting aspect. Because you got all these mini games and you're searching for all this random stuff just in the house. Where's the gear? Where's that gear? There you are. It's more or less everything we need to do here. I don't know, we can go back because yeah, there's that vase. We need to break the vase. And find another gear. And there's another vase. We're breaking a lot of, I'm sure, very valuable vases. Okay, and this one's complete, so we never have to come back here. We're all done. I imagine there's something left to do here. We'll have to do that later. Let's try our map. Whenever you're stuck, the map is always a good place to go. Tells you where you can do things, but however it'll tell you, like, a lot of the times I'll just tell you can do something here because you have part, you know, like here, that's the second floor key, we have 2, but we need 5. I'm gonna wait till we have all 5. So in that way, it's not the most helpful. That's the past one. Yeah, once you've completed the location, like, see, these aren't, we can get to them, but we don't need to go there ever, so they're not really going to be shown on the map, because there's no point in that. Oh, statuette. We gotta break this beautiful little ballerina. Okay. And there's the 4th gear. So we can go back here and fix this clock. Here's a game that can either be very simple and very easy, or it can drive you insane. Because you have to rework it 3 times before you finally get it to work. So we need to form a path that leads all the way to this one. And we have all sorts of different sizes here. So, in the interest of time, I'm just gonna skip it. Sorry. Okay. So there, the clock works, and we found a handle to the drawer. Back to present, the handle goes on our drawer here. And that's the last coat of arms. Yeah, we found that one pretty quickly. Sure, we'll go ahead and just teleport there. There's poor Louisa, looking very grim. And her ghost is free as well.
Another jewel for the medallion. It also has an engraving. Perception and intuition.
Could it be that it will allow us to see details that we missed? Let's be attentive to our environment.
Yes, perception. Because you can see there's a dark place. We can see the dark place. Aha. So where would be a good place to go to next? his room. What the heck, we'll get a few things out of our inventory. That way. Sort of get a sense of where we can actually do things. That leaves something to be done in the portrait gallery. Oh, there's another dark corner. Key to the kitchen! We can go to the kitchen. We're not eating, though.
The kitchen. This place will be very useful to us if we are to remain several days here.
Several days in this sinister place? Dear Holmes, I must confess, sometimes I have difficulties in understanding your humour.
We all do.
I think I remember this kitchen. As I recall, I was in the habit of stealing pastries as a child. How surreal this all seems.
Well, little Henry stealing cookies. So yeah, Henry does feel a good bit of a nostalgia for this place. Even though in the original stories, Henry had actually never been to Baskerville Hall. We used it 3 times and we're still alive! We're the chosen one. But yeah, in the original stories, Henry had spent his entire life in America. He'd never even really been to London. He'd never been to England much. And had never seen Baskerville Hall. It was as new to him as it was to everybody. Fire poker. Where can we use the fire poker? There's somewhere we can use it. We need wood. We can break this pot. Wait, that was wrong one. Strength. And that's another part of James's door. So here we hear little tidbits about Henry spending his days here at Baskerville Hall. I'll put the cauldron there. How he misses his uncle. Oh, there's another dark place. I think I went for the sparklies. Okay, so we got both parts of that. Last 2 parts. So we can go ahead and fix that up. Okay, so I think in this we're supposed to, depress all the parts. That usual thing that you push one and it pushes down all the others next to it. That was a really easy one.
James Baskerville was a doctor and a renowned surgeon. He graduated from the prestigious Royal London Medical School. According to my uncle, he spent much time performing medical research on animals. No doubt that he wanted to exploit the weaknesses of the beast that threatened his life.
Supposing this beast does exist.
Holmes still being
I begin to
spectral.
doubt that a man, however wild he might be, could be the source of these murders.
Logical. But yeah, those ones where you need to push them all down, and that's another one that can sometimes be easy and sometimes be an absolute pain in the neck. So you can break a couple skulls. Hey, I was using the wrong one. Put to the key, and let's break the other skull. A hidden trapdoor. Hidden trapdoor on carpet. My dear Henry, let me tell you that your relative had a poor imagination. So Yeah, Holmes still being smart aleck. Of course, what would Holmes be without sarcasm? Okay. See, these are ones, there's one way to do all of these. Okay. And you have to, see, because I actually screwed it up, so I gotta reset it. So you have to be very careful with these puzzles. Because there's one way to do them that will ensure you get it right every time. So just watch what I'm doing, because you ever run into one of these puzzles, this is the way you have to do it. Exactly like this, otherwise you will fail. Because the second you have two of the same next to each other, you're done. You have to always keep them separate or interlocking until you've gotten them over to the other side. A small mirror and the last black candle. So let's head back to Louisa's. We can figure out just what her mirror did. Now I gotta light the things. Apparently they give off a green flame. The corridor is opening in the mirror.
This manor is full of surprises. Now it's possible to cross the mirror.
Louisa's secret shelter. How could it be?
Don't disturb yourself, my friends. Let's continue our investigation.
Very picture of calm Holmes is. But yeah, so apparently Louisa managed to create a mirror world. I'm sure she managed to find some manner of black magic to do that. Maybe not black magic, whatever. Some form of magic to do this. This picture, all these paying cards we've been gathering. We can finally use them now. So she thought that crossing over into the mirror world, staying there for a certain amount of time, would protect her from the dog. Unfortunately, it didn't. This one's relatively simple. You just rotate everything until it makes a logical picture. These kinds of games are never too hard. They take a little time. But they can be rather enjoyable. Yeah, the gameplay in this has most of the usual types of games you see in Hidden Objects. Puzzles like this. There's the gear puzzle, which we had to forfeit. That, as far as I know, is probably one of the harder ones in here. The only one that I've ever felt the need to skip. So yeah, that's done, and it's the painting of the dog. We got marionette rulers. But you see, yeah, we get through the mirror world portion really quickly. We only have to stay there for a couple minutes. Pass and fix that marionette. Yeah, and that was the last thing we needed to do there. That little violin bit. So, where shall we go next? Oh, pieces. Head back into James' room. See what all we can encounter there. Not much we can do other than sort of unload our inventory a bit. There's a dark place. It's a second crystal eye. Okay, so let's go to the wolf head. Another wolf's head. Yeah, we are gonna find one in each of the family members' rooms. Put the eyes in. I suppose you can guess the next step. To the past!
Here we are, once again, some minutes after the attack.
If Sir James was killed not long ago, why is there no trace of his body? And what if the animal that has taken his life is still here? It may be somewhere outside. Stay away from the window, Henry.
If an animal is responsible for such a mess, it certainly must be big enough to carry away a human body.
Yeah.
You think that these murders might not be the work of a man, Holmes?
No, a man could not do such damage. On the contrary, a man would be perfectly capable of raising an animal to fulfill this type of savageness for him.
Yeah. Hidden object. We need to find Africa. There it is. So yeah, slowly but surely, I mean, obviously, we know that dog did it. Just by the pure amount of everything being wrecked. Yeah, slowly but surely, Holmes accepts that, yeah, it's a demon dog. Yeah, he still sort of holds on to that skepticism for a little while longer. Just a little while. Well, of course he is. So yeah, just about every new place we go to, we get to hear a little bit of that nice banter between our three friends. Which keeps things interesting. We found 100 things. Yay. That should be the scroll. Why is it not the scroll? Okay, there's the scroll that I wanted. Yeah, it's something that'll annoy me when you're looking for something and there's technically two of them there, but only one's the specific one. Like, well, why'd you put it in the background then? And we get another circular key. There's code arms piece, a skin piece, and atomic model. It's missing a lung and the heart. So we need to find those somewhere. Oh, we got a flask. We can break the flask. There's the third one of that. So we're going back to the present and open this trap door. So this one is get the red thing over. So yeah, this one is interesting. Because again, there's sort of like one way to do it. And you sort of better hope you don't screw it up. You gotta get over. So just keep going back and forth. And there it is. So yeah, it's not a hard one. You just gotta know how to do it.
What a smell! It is untenable.
Your uncle was right, Henry. Sir James was interested in canine anatomy.
And his fear drove him to perform experiments that his own ethics should have condemned. Tragic.
Yeah, so, our poor dog. Our poor little puppy. So yeah, James apparently went cuckoo, trying to figure out how to beat this dog. And it killed him anyway. the pencil. Where is the dang pencil? There it is. Okay, let's get moving now. Click on just the right spot. Need stethoscope, water, and a wolf head. Wolf head. Yep. So. Okay. So, a few other places we can go. Oh, the lung. There we go. From our anatomy model in the torn up room. Another coat of arms piece. Something we're supposed to do. I can't remember if we're supposed to just cut the straps or something, but we do something to free the dog. Okay, so no more doing here. Let's head back to the hall. Okay, so the locust choice we got cut through. Good thing we had the salt. And the garden.
A nice place. It could be very pleasant to have tea here in another context.
Yeah. 4 or 5. A lock piece. And another steam piece. So here we have the nice little winter garden. Which gives us, we're gonna do the hidden objects here quite a bit. This gives us a few things we need to complete our quest. That's another example of the beautiful artwork in here. They did put a lot of effort into that. And the animation. A little animation from the cutscenes we get. There's not much movement, but that's sort of typical. But it is very nice. It's very nice to look at. But yeah, you can definitely see that all the money for this game went into things like the artwork. Which I appreciate. Because ultimately, you know, if it's not nice to look at, it's not going to be as much fun to play. There are ones that really go all out and they make cutscenes with like computer animated people. Those ones I really appreciate. So they just went all out for it. Those are actually some of my favorite games. I'll wind up doing one of those later on. Syringe is empty. Yeah. Oh, we got a couple flower pots. Nothing in them. Cage, we can use our strength to bend open the bird cage. Hit that last bulkhead. So we can fix our fountain. It is an interesting fountain to have. The whole family was scared to death of dogs, and yet they have a lot of dog and wolf themed architecture around. Need some water. Got the jug. Yeah. We'll water the seeds. And see, we watered them, but plants take a while to grow. But we can solve that issue in a little bit. So yeah, I said that there was some medicine somewhere. Probably in the past then. We find bottles. Where's the last one? There he is. Okay, so now we got some medicine. Holmes genes in your blood. Would be nice. Rolled in my hand. I'll lay it back down and see if... I'm not sure if this actually helps the dog. Yeah. But I don't think the dog was most likely dead. I'm hoping it was dead. So I'm not really sure what purpose that really served other than getting its heart. We got a padlock key. There's nothing there. And the padlock, of course, will get us into that cage. With the final coat of arms piece. Sure, we'll teleport over to the gallery. What the hey. And James is free. Oh, please.
This jewel carries an inscription. Temporal acceleration. Tell us about this medallion, Henry. Try to remember the smallest details, even the most trivial.
My uncle wrote that he discovered it in Edward's room, but I don't know anymore as he wanted to tell me the rest of it.
Edward, the brother of Hugo.
Yes, Doctor, but unlike what was written in the press, Hugo was not a victim of the curse. His body was found outside the manor near the abandoned mines. He was not mutilated or savaged. As for Oliver, the younger of the three brothers, he disappeared. No one knew what could have happened to him. Edward was the first proven victim of the Hound.
Therefore, Edward did not know of the existence of the beast before being murdered. This contradicts the idea that this medallion, although it was discovered in his room, could have belonged to him.
Unless the medallion has a purpose other than killing the beast, but right now we can only speculate. We lack concrete evidence. Let's continue our investigation.
The speed. Yep, we're gonna go try it out. Because we can now blow our
I know
plans.
some botanists who would pay a fortune for this medallion.
And some wine growers.
It's some wine growers. And Lily's room key. Lily. Let's go find out Lily.
Lily was my aunt, Charles' sister. She was an entomologist.
Without this curse, and with so many different vocations, the Baskerville family could have greatly contributed to the sciences. What a loss for Great Britain.
Because they were all scientists, artists, hunters. Quite a family.
Holmes?
Watson, don't just stand at the door. Enter the room. We have a great deal of work to do.
Are you sure there are no...
Haha. Oh no, my friend. There are no spiders in this place. Just a few domesticated moths. Come, do not be a child.
So yeah, our Watson's afraid of spiders. Perfectly rational. I hate those things too. Butterfly collections, missing a couple. Molding parts picked up earlier, gonna have from here. It's Tetravex. It takes freaking forever to find the rest of the Tetravex. I'm not sure if that actually serves a purpose. For the arms piece, for dear Lily. Yeah, another door to the garden. We gotta find the pieces here. Like I said, that takes us forever. Got another hidden object here. We come back here for a lot of hidden objects. Mushrooms. And the Big Dipper, it looks like. Last molding part, so we can go ahead and do that. So yeah, this one, we're given more puzzle pieces than we need. But yeah, you only have to click on them to actually stick them in there. Okay. So we have to figure out which ones we can use and which ones are extras. Which is kind of a different way to do a puzzle. And we don't even have to place them, we just have to click on them. That's kind of an interesting puzzle to do. So that's solved. And that gives us... Should we remove the button? Let's not remove the button right now because I did have to skip that one. A lamp. We're gonna have to break the lamp. It's breaking all sorts of stuff. Sorry we're breaking all your stuff, Henry. And to the past.
What's wrong? Did you see the beast?
This is gonna be good.
If I had to choose between the Hound and the monstrous tarantula that has taken up residence here, believe me, I'd hesitate a few minutes before deciding.
Sir Henry, I beg you to excuse the remarks of Dr. Watson. His phobia for spiders makes it absolutely illogical.
It's understandable. Let's try to find out what happened to Lily Baskerville.
Poor Watson. Chrysalis. So we're gonna speed that up. And tamed time. So we gotta get that. It's missing flowers. We gotta find flowers for the vase. Dark place. The second flower. Oh. Bless me. And we have another butterfly. So we need some form of net. Termites. Gotta bust out the termites. Worms. Give us strength. Get them out. And then we just sort of grab them. We don't put them in a jar or anything, we just grab them. That was something. Alright, messenger bag. There you are. Nippers. Piecers. Okay. They're pincers, aka tweezers. Telescope. Snake. We just sort of grab the termites. I guess Watson, he's not okay with spiders, but he's okay with termites. It's usually every other case I've ever seen where you have to pick up some form of bug. You have to find a jar first, or some sort of container. Wasp. That's not the case here. We're just gonna stuff them in our pocket and take them to the present. Yeah, because termites, they'll eat you literally out of house and home, but it takes a minute. Capture one butterfly, and capture the other two. So this is, we gotta match them up. And this one's fairly hard matching game, because there are a bunch of little things you won't notice. You'll think they match, but then it's like, oh wait, that one little spot's different. It's a nice challenge though. And the two polka dotted ones. So they do come up with a few unique games, or at least they take standard ones and put a little twist in there, makes them a little harder. I do like the games. They did good on gameplay. Of course, there's one butterfly that doesn't match. And we've set all the butterflies free. Sure, why not? What else can we do? What else we can do here? There's some. Oh. We need something long to get the key away from the spider. Yep, there we go, that works. So now we've got all the pieces of that, so we're just going to head on over to the portrait gallery and use all our keys. So this, we got to push them all down. But sort of, yeah, this is that one's got to push it all down, but some, yeah, okay, that was actually easier than I thought. I thought that was going to be harder. Sometimes you get lucky on those. Yeah, those kinds, literally, it's not like it does the ones next to it, it's...
On this floor, we will find the rooms of Edward and Elizabeth. At the end of the corridor, we should find the astronomical observatory of my uncle. As for the room at the right, I think that is the room that was prepared for me. Unfortunately, my uncle didn't send me the keys.
Locked doors are not an obstacle, Sir Henry. A loss of time, at the very most.
What's a locked door? We've traveled back in time. We can get through a locked door. We can just break the door down if all else fails. The picture here. Yeah. Oh, nothing. Yeah. So yeah, those couple of symbols we found. Just gotta put those there. They help us with that. The store, we can't get in there quite yet. I was saying something before the cutscene started about the game we just did with the lock. And those ones can be weird where it's not, it pushes down the ones next to it, but pushes down some random ones. Could be ones next to it, could be ones on the other side. Let's head over to the kitchen. Can we do anything in the kitchen? Remember we needed firewood for here. We're gonna wind up melting that thing. We'll just stick it in there for now. We'll come back. You can always do something in the garden. What can we do in the garden? Bakery flowers. Okay. Oh! Use the saw, we'll cut down a tree, and there we go, we got wood. So now we got wood, we can make a fire.
Look, Henry, a piece of heraldry. Someone has taken great pains to conceal it inside this wax mold.
Indeed, Holmes. Now I understand your hesitation in reviving the fire.
If the logic seen so far is repeated, we should expect this shield to release a new power of the medallion.
Oh, so now you believe it's power, Holmes. Yeah, we gotta figure out some way to ladle the thing out. Where's a ladle when you need one? So we're gonna come back to that in a hot second. So, where should we go? We're gonna head in here. Should be something to do. Yes, in the past there's something to do. There it is. That was it. We need to find that scheme piece. Now we're done with this Lily's crime scene. Okay, so I guess there's some. There's another Tetravex piece. There's one more piece of this quad arms we need to find. It's somewhere. Or yeah, it's in there, but we gotta figure out how to get it. I suppose I'm not going. Can we use the fire puzzle for that? was it. We just need to use the fire poker. Okay. And we're all done with the kitchen. Let's save Lily. Lily! And our entomologist is free from the curse.
What new ability will this jewel bring to the family medallion? Let's see. It says, nothing created, everything transformed.
A quotation of Antoine Lavoisier, the famous French chemist.
Exactly. This principle was widely used by the alchemists in the last century.
Alchemists.
This new power must be related to the transformation of material. Is it possible that this is the great work? The Philosopher's Stone?
Not quite the Philosopher's Stone. It's pretty close.
Let's search for a place where we can use it without delay.
Yep. So materialization gives you the power to materialize a figurative representation. Try it out on old Henry's portrait.
Well, here's an answer to our question. The fourth jewel of the locket allows us figurative transformation.
Yep.
Henry, your ancestors were full of resources.
I don't think they were the source of this medallion. My uncle would have known. In addition, we didn't find any research notes on this subject. In my opinion, they only looked for the missing parts. They thought that once they had completed the medallion, it would rid them of the beast. None succeeded.
Where does the medallion come from, then?
We shall end up discovering, I'm sure.
I'm not sure we technically do discover. We can sort of make our assumptions.
Henry, you told us that your uncle had prepared this room for you. He hoped for your visit?
I had indeed planned to come see him, but we had not fixed the date. My business in Canada leaves me little free time.
Yep.
Do you know who lived in this room before Sir Charles prepared it?
I believe that this room was occupied for quite some time. Nobody lived here.
So, chess pieces. Lots of chess pieces. Okay, two more. Where are they? Oops, down on there. Oh. Oh, there it is. So we found a chess piece. So this is sort of like the one for that trap door. We gotta use the arrows to slide it open. It's not too hard. At least the first round isn't. This one, yeah, is gonna be a bit of a pain. too bad. That was kind of again, a more unique game. Revealing more than taste. Because yeah, this is a very nice mansion at the end of the day. It's beautiful. This. I think actually we have to wait for the thing which will get the masks down. I think that's one more. So, horse piece. Yeah, we have one more slot left. So one more. This one's kind of interesting. These aren't, see, it's numbers. But we only have these symbols here. So you slice them in half, you got numbers. A 5. This is a 1. The heart looking thing here is a 2. Which is kind of an interesting way. That one you could mistake for an 8, but is in fact a 3. Because they're split in half. So that's kind of an interesting way to do it.
The room with Edward, the famous navigator of the family, and the first victim of the curse.
You told us that he was Hugo's brother. Was he living at the manor during the delinquency of his diabolic brother?
No, Edward was a teenager when he left for the Royal Navy. The training of a sailor begins very early.
Speaking of Hugo, what do you know about him?
Just what I was told. He was a base and diabolical being. He terrorized the family. He did not care for Oliver, his younger brother. I shouldn't be surprised if Hugo were responsible for Oliver's disappearance. In spite of his detestable character, Hugo found a delightful woman. Hugo was madly in love with her, but she couldn't return his love. Their union did not last. Growing jealousy and schizophrenia drove Hugo out of his mind. He killed his wife in so vile a manner. This dreadful murder is said to be the origin of the curse. I don't know any more about it.
Do you think that his wife was some kind of witch? Could she have cursed your family before dying?
No, Hugo was the only Baskervilles said to practice the dark arts. Nobody else.
Interesting. It is possible that the locket belonged to Hugo. For now, let us search this place. Perhaps we shall find clues to help us in our inquiry.
So yeah, that backstory we were just given is somewhat similar. It's pretty similar, yeah, to the original story of Hugo Baskerville in the novel. In the novel, Hugo did fall in love, or the more proper word is probably obsession, with a young woman, and he actually kidnapped her. He and a bunch of his cronies kidnapped her. And held her hostage for a little while. But she escaped. And when she escaped, that's what drove Hugo to wind up killing her. So this is a game that is kind of a pain. It's easy in like the first round. So yeah, you have literally the number of dice here. The number of dots you see is how many moves you have to get the thing into its hole, and you kind of... I think I messed up. Okay, we're gonna set that one. Because I think you do literally have to go with as many. Yeah, you have to literally. Okay, we got one here set. There, that's done. Let's try doing that. Something like that. Oh, okay. It was only 2. I thought there was one more. 10 puzzles in a row without skipping. Nothing can escape a mental athlete. Got nice one. Another crystal eye. So yeah. We'll come back to that in a minute. Go check out Elizabeth's room.
What can you tell us about Elizabeth, Henry?
She was my cousin, the daughter of Charles, and a great painter. There's nothing worse than to survive your own children, and that's what happened to my poor uncle. Elizabeth was attacked by the beast 15 years before her father.
It is tragic.
It was from this time that Charles began to write to me. He was so sad. I think he felt guilty for failing to protect his daughter.
As any dad would. Pentagram drawings, we can use our materialization here. So yeah, they do keep a lot of the basics of how the story went. Hugo going mad and killing a woman he quote-unquote loved. The idea that a hound from hell came and from that cruel act and started killing off the family. However, in the original, the Hound never really killed any. There was no deaths, mysterious deaths in the family until Henry's uncle, Sir Charles. And that was why Henry came Sherlock. Was because out of nowhere his uncle dies very mysteriously and everybody's blaming a demonic dog. And of course Holmes solves who's actually doing it, and Henry's able to live out his days peacefully. This one, however, the dog's been terrorizing the family for ages. And I don't think there's really mention of Hugo practicing dark magic in the original. He might have done a bit of voodoo here, there, something. And of course, mention schizophrenia. Obviously, during Hugo's time, psychology wasn't really even a field yet, so they wouldn't have known what schizophrenia was. The disease wasn't officially discovered until 1887, so at this time they could look back and said, yeah, probably something like schizophrenia. At the time, I imagine most people would have just written Hugo off as either being a demon or being possessed by one. Would be my guess. And a sponge. Seascape. Yeah, because we have this damaged painting here, so we have to sort of fix it. So we're going to materialize a little seawater. The third utilization of the materialization power gives you the right to start a stage magician tour. You really deserve this. Yeah, gotta wipe it all off. One of Elizabeth's paintings that I guess she finished probably right before she died. There's an eye, spider here, 4th rose. Handle, and the window, fork. There's one more. One thing I always notice with games that have find the differences is that oftentimes your only option is to just skip it if you get stuck. And I don't like that. I wish more often they just let you have the hint button for these, because it's not so often, because you'll find like all of them except one, and you can't find that one anywhere, which kind of annoys me. It's like, no, I don't want to skip it, I just want you to give me a hint because I can't find this last one. So we're missing a few things. We're gonna need the brush, and we need to find some paints. So we're gonna find some paints in a little bit, I'm sure. Where shall we go next? That's just Tetravex things, which we still didn't find all of them. Yeah. So far, really, the only things they can really have us do is just unloading the inventory. I'm gonna be stubborn about the Tetravex, though. These things is if we not use them until we found them all. We have to find 8 of these things. Oh, there's a dark place. I didn't notice the dark place. And the crystal eye. Okay, so now we can go to the past and see what happened to poor old Edward.
Again, fresh traces of a prodigious, violent struggle.
The poor man should have stayed at sea. He was safe of that.
Steam piece. Got another dark place. Yeah. Things just sort of got mauled. So yeah, that's that coat of arms
If
done.
the logic that we've seen so far continues, we should soon find another jewel of the medallion.
Yes, Dr. Watson, but this locket worries me more and more. I'm not persuaded that it's good for us.
What do you mean, Holmes?
Obviously, this item didn't belong to any of the victims of the curse, which means that it is possible that it could have been Hugo's, and I don't like that hypothesis.
Yeah. So that's sort of probably the farthest we get in figuring out just where the locket came from. Because we just sort of assume that it was something Hugo either made or found in his love of dark arts.
However, this medallion is an essential element of our progress. It guided us here.
Guided or manipulated? I really can't decide.
So there are a couple things I want to do here first before we go and stick that coat of arms piece in. So yeah, Holmes gets on a bit where he's not sure that the locket's good. And that's really kind of all he says about it. So now we got one of these not games, which I kind of enjoy most of the time. And again, they're one that sometimes they're easy, sometimes they're a pain in the neck. Often, really, the trick with these things is that you literally just have to get, like, in just, yeah, literally just the right spot. You can have them really close together, but you have it in just the right spot and you've undone the knot. And so that revealed another hidden object scene for us. Sand glass, we called it an hourglass in another scene, but now we're calling it a sand glass. I'll note little things like consistency, like that. Because, you know, you called it an hourglass and why are you changing it? Oh well, I digress. Cockade. Every now and then you play a hidden object game, you run across a word you've never heard, or you haven't heard in ages. So I have no idea what a cockade is. Sextant. Yeah, I have no idea what a cockade is. We are going to... I'm going to go ahead and search that real quick so I know what I'm looking for, because I could be here all day for that. Knot of ribbons or other circular or... So a cockade is a knot of ribbons or other circular or oval-shaped symbol of distinctive colors, which is usually worn on a hat. That's according to Wikipedia. I have no idea. We'll see if we can find that. Yeah, that's kind of weird. So we're going to start on the other end. Yeah, I'm just going to sort of switch to the other end. Because, yeah, on the rare occasion I do get fully stuck on something. Instead of skipping the next thing, I just, like, start from the other end. If you decide to watch more of my videos as I make them, you will notice me being anal many times. Just a warning. I'll try to keep it to a minimum. Tongues. Where are tongues? Where are the tongues? Where are the tongues? There it is. I've seen it. Cap. There's the cap. And now this cockade. Screw it, I'm using the hint. That looked more like a brooch or something. I'm not sure what that was. Okay, so we're all done here. And evidently we're all done here as well. So yeah, now we'll do Edward's portrait, our noble captain, noble sea captain. And Edward is free.
Catch without approaching.
You don't think it means telekinesis?
Why not? It would not be the strangest thing that we've seen in this manner.
I fear the next step of our inquiry. Now that the locket is whole, we're going to have to find the beast, aren't we?
Yep.
I'm afraid so, my friend.
So yeah, by now Holmes has more or less accepted that we're chasing what the hell. So I'll go and try this out on the masks that we saw earlier. Yeah, so I guess another crystal eye. I'll do the other mask before I go back to Elizabeth's room. And that's coat of arms piece. Yeah, we're good. Oh wait, hang on. I have the last piece of the pentagram. I want to put that in. Okay.
Obviously, someone went through a great deal of efforts to hide this plan.
What can this schematic possibly represent? It is incomplete.
Yep.
Dear Watson, I think that it depicts the method to invoke the beast.
Amazing. A Baskerville discovered the means to call this monster. Since we have the completed medallion, we have nothing left to do but to reconstruct this plan, invoke the animal, and kill it to put an end to the curse.
Nothing could be easier, indeed.
I know, Watson. Yeah, all we gotta do is summon the Hellhound and kill it. Sounds easy enough. We'll do this hidden object first. Okay. Okay, we're just... Okay, where's the... Oh, I see it. Stairboard. Okay. Stairboard, I'm assuming somewhere there are stairs we need to go fix. So we'll go back to Elizabeth's room and we'll go see her crime scene now.
All this blood.
Blood.
Look at this picture. The traces of blood are fresh.
Yeah, we got a lot of blood. I think for here we use materialization. Yep, and so yeah, we need to find a container to take the blood with us. Materialize part of her coat of arms. I know we just materialize the whole thing, then we're done. Black spot. Another coat of arms piece. Well, I guess that'd make it too easy if we just materialized it all there. Palette. Anything else we can do right now? No, we can't. Hidden objects, so paint tubes. So yeah, we're in an artist's room. There's going to be a lot of paint around. It's interesting that we're seeing on, because for most of these rooms, people have been dead for ages, and yet all of their stuff is still just lying around. See, this is one of those, you gotta paint every square, and the colors can't touch. But I kinda like this kind of game. It's a fun game to do. Yellow now. Some of these, they won't let you paint the colors next to each other. It's like, I'll remind you, hey, that doesn't work. Okay. Apparently this one, though, they just expect you to notice. And we got one. Doesn't work. Okay. Alright, there we go. Voila. And that gave us our last coat of arms piece for Elizabeth.
What shall we discover now that the locket is reconstructed?
It would be logical that we are being guided towards the means to invoke the demonic dog.
And Watson's smartass comment?
Holmes, you should take note that you used the words logic and demonic dog in the same sentence.
I'm afraid I did.
Yeah, Holmes, you're never living that one down. We'll save dear Elizabeth.
A piece of the door key. Soon we will be able to reconstruct it completely.
Yeah, there's Chuck's door. Now this is a puzzle that annoys me. You have to rotate everything so that it fits. Of course, it won't just rotate that one. No, it'll rotate all of them. Yeah, I'm afraid I'm gonna have to skip this one. Sorry. That one's just annoying.
So here's my uncle's sanctuary. He often wrote me about this place in his letters. He liked to spend time here reading astronomy books or enjoying Indian tea. How I regret not coming back earlier to meet him, while he was still alive.
Henry, you're not responsible for the tragic fate of your uncle, so remove any notion of guilt from your mind.
Do you think that Sir Charles was behind the plan we have discovered?
No, but I think he ascertained clues to it while preparing Henry's room. Perhaps he discovered the incomplete plan, in which case we should find it.
So you have Uncle Charles, the astronomer. This very interesting solar system. We have to find all the planets for it. Let's go ahead and materialize the sun. So yeah, that stair board, we gotta find the other stair board, and we can go up there. Been a while since we used this string. And there's one of the crystal eyes. It's locked. You can't find it yet. That's what we can do in here. Not really. Stairs still work. So let's fix the stairs. No.
Charles Observatory. Building it cost him a fair part of his fortune.
Here we have the lens for it. This and a few other pieces. Studying the constellation Lupus. If Ross decided he could here. It's right downstairs. It's not like a fall. The hole will transport you right to the place where the thing can be used.
Here we are, a few weeks ago. Fascinating.
What a shock it must have been for the domestics. I dare say they undertook huge efforts to erase any traces of this horrible murder. Can you smell that? It's the grey tea that he was so fond of.
Let us not let our emotions overwhelm us, my friends. We must continue with our investigations.
Holmes always the logical. And poor Henry. Hearing him talk about how fond he was of his uncle. Which is again something that isn't really in the original story. As far as we know, Henry and Sir Charles, I'm not even sure if they ever really met. But Henry decided to come back to Baskerville because it was his family's home. Overall, though, I'd say the changes they made to the story, they're pretty good. They make sense. Safety on picture here. They did a pretty good job with the story. Of taking. There's a jar. What we need a jar for? We remember all that blood? That was in Elizabeth's room. We needed something to pick it up with. So yeah. So we got all 5 of the jewels, so the last 2 coats of arms just give us general pieces that we need and to get it. Or that was it. Thought there was more to here. Okay, back to the present. Or back to the Victorian era. Why do we need the Hound's blood? We shall see. Stick on the... There one more piece we need? Yeah, the viewfinder. I got lucky out of his life. And another hidden object. Boy. Okay. Not sure I should be able to forward that. Okay. There he is. Every now and then you have no idea what exactly they're asking you to look for. You either have to guess or you give up and use the hint. Or you get lucky and you click on it without even realizing it. Okay, where's the elephant? There he is. dang, where's the trash? Paper rubbish. It's just paper rubbish. Not crumpets. Okay. Spring star. And the viewfinder. So that's the last part of my telescope. I'm gonna stick it on here. Okay. Action. There's perception, and we see that we have found the constellation of the dog, Lupus, and now we materialize it. Yes, we are going to materialize the constellation. That's all we have to do here, and we stick this in that little slot, which gives us a touch effects. Second to last of the touch effects. Stick these on here, and we're missing one planet. One more to here for a minute. Wow. Oh, there it is. There's the last touch effects. He's going to time. Okay, so now we can go and do that. Back in Lily's room. Okay, so we have this one, that's the only one that's locked. It's just sort of match the other halves of the insects. It's an interesting minigame to have. The only problem is that it can be a little hard to tell if you've actually matched up all the critters. Sometimes you get these kind of games and it's obvious that they do match up very seamlessly. Other times getting low. Okay. Okay.
I hope you don't take offence, Sir Henry, but I find Baskerville Manor oppressive. I must say, I am quite happy to get some fresh air. This garden appears just in time.
No offense taken, Doctor. I feel exactly the same. Imagine coming here with a dream to transform this manor into a cozy living place. I could never have imagined finding such atrocious scenes.
These gates lead to the swamp, don't they?
Yeah, we're getting closer to the end. There are very few places left for us to explore. Basically, once we get out into the swamp, and yeah, so we're very quickly approaching the climax of the game. Hedgehog. Where's the hedgehog? There's the hedgehog. Could have always just clicked on Watson for that one. If you're not in the Sherlock fandom, you will not have gotten that joke. And I apologize. Not much. A strange stone. Could it be the one with the weird symbol on it? Okay, so we got a couple rocks, which we'll use over here in a minute. Gates. Oh, we have torch going. Yeah, we're just gonna burn it all down. Holmes, would you make things burn quicker? And there's the third stone, which we will place here. Okay, so oh yeah, this is a memory game. Let's see if you do appreciate that we have the sort of sun right there telling us just how many we have to go through. These games I've never found too hard. Sometimes they'll try and make them a little ridiculous.
Watch your steps and don't move too far from the wall of the manor.
What, in your opinion, will we find in these treacherous swamps, Holmes?
If a ritual that invokes the beast does exist, I doubt it was performed in the manor, otherwise we would have seen the sight. I'm ready to bet a packet of good tobacco that it must have been performed somewhere in these marshes.
So you know Holmes means it when he's bringing up tobacco. We're having tobacco on the line. It just got real.
I'll be damned if this circle of standing stones is not the very location of the ritual.
Yeah. It's a pretty good bet.
Be careful what you wish for, Doctor.
We're getting closer, my friends.
It's a pretty good bet. Let's break open a tree. Oh, we got a hidden object up here. So yeah, we got mine over here, which we will be going into shortly. 300. I found 300 pieces of junk. So one thing I always kind of notice about these hidden object games is that in ones like these where the HO scenes are just sort of pop up every now and then, it's only one thing you actually need, and they give you 12 or 10 or 15 They give you a long old list and you only need one thing from it. Which I find interesting. Because then you'll go through the rest of the thing and you'll just see little objects that you need scattered about. But then you'll find the HO scenes, which are the whole list you gotta find. And yet you still only need one thing. And sometimes you know exactly what that one thing is. Like, okay, see that? Oh yeah, that's the medallion, or that's the last candle that I need, or that's the key that I need. But I gotta find all this other junk before they'll let me use the key. Alright, so we got a shovel, so we'll dig out the chest. It's got those. So yeah, that bit. We got Dark Hollow. We'll peek in there. We'll peek in the dark cave. So that's where we're gonna eventually summon our friendly dog, our puppy. Alright, is there much else we can do here at the moment? Not really. Oh, got another one here. Just take notice of when they've got a HO scene in a place you ultimately have no reason to go back to. Because, you know, in general, there's not really much for us to do left in this area of the garden. But they decided to give us another HO scene. And they're really weird if you have, well, like a map that'll allow you to just sort of click on a spot on it and you're all of a sudden there. Because then it's, why would you ever go back to that place? It's not like you're going to wind up walking through it again. And then of course there are some maps and other games that they will not let you do that. You're on one side of your map and you gotta go to the other side to finish something. You can't just jump over there, you gotta walk through every room. And that was the last thing we had to do here, was go and find that plaque in the last HOC. And a map of the mine. Over here. Now this is an interesting sort of maze that you're only allowed to go along where there is a white line drawn. And you can get on a bit of a loop with these things. wasn't too bad. Just sort of have to watch where you're allowed
This mine
to go.
seems to have been abandoned for quite some time. I didn't know that there was such a place near the manor.
The path goes deeper into the earth. We shouldn't risk getting lost down there. Let's see if we can find anything interesting here.
But this place may be crawling with spiders.
Poor Watson. And again, we're only looking for that one thing. We just need that thing of oil. Coin purse. Where is that coin purse? There it is. It's under the lizard's foot. There we go, we have oil. So we can light the lamp. Let there be light. Okay. Here's the eye. There it was. The jaw. A lot of bones around here. Key. Sack. What's in the sack? We don't know. Random mask in here for some reason. We found a lizard. Why do we need a lizard? I'm sure the lizard serves some purpose. What left is there to... wait. I wasn't quite done there. And the last coat of arms piece.
It seems that Sir Charles was interested in these mines. Here's the last part of his coat of arms.
Which is going to be very useful to us. I can feel it.
Now we'll go ahead and teleport to Charles' portrait. And he's free.
Here is another piece of the plan. It was indeed in your uncle's possession, Henry.
You were right, Holmes. Once again.
Okay. So, we freed all the family members from the curse. Just put them on one at a time. And there we are. What will be the consequences? Hopefully that we kill the dog. And we have Venus. What do we do here? Okay. So yeah, we need to fix the solar system real quick. Okay. So this one... an interesting little mini game. Basically have to put something that you gotta choose a path. I messed that up. So yeah, this one is another one. You just sort of have to make sure you know what you are doing. So you basically have to shoot one of the little things into all the bits, but you can only go along certain paths. Piece of meteorite. Yeah, we need a meteorite for the ritual. So yeah, that was the last
The plan we found in the manor corresponds exactly to this place. We only have to follow the instructions to summon the Hound.
And once it's here, how are we going to get rid of it? We know that we have to use the medallion against it, but how?
Yeah, we'd never really prepared for that bit.
Do not bother us with details, Watson. We will know when the time comes. In any case, we must find all elements needed for the invocation.
We'll know how to kill it when it shows up. Okay. So yeah, so we take our meteorite, and we take the Hound's blood, the strength, we have to power up the stones with all the magic we've just acquired. And now we are going to summon the Hound. Good job. And that did it.
I can't believe my eyes.
Yeah, that kind of did it. We didn't really have to do anything but watch.
The monstrous animal has been reduced to ashes.
Dust swept like the wind, like the curse, also dissipated.
You're out of danger, Sir Henry.
What a night, my friends. No doubt it will remain etched in my memory for the rest of my life.
Yeah, we did all this in one night. The original story, I think it took a good month.
Holmes, Dr. Watson, how can I possibly thank you? You've done so much for my family.
No need to thank us, Henry. I will spend the next few weeks reconstructing the events of this adventure and trying to find a logical link. However, for me, this work of analysis is already a reward.
Holmes is still going to try and use logic to explain how all this happened.
Well, my friends, if you do not mind, I would not be unhappy to return to our good old city of London. For my part, my reward will be a cup of decent tea and a good day off.
Yep. Try it in hard mode. I'll do that later. So, yeah, for finishing it in easy mode, we get Detective Assistant. Yeah, because we watched all the movies. Why wouldn't we watch the movies? 2 weeks later, 221B.
He will be here soon.
I'm looking forward to seeing him again.
My friends, what a pleasure to see you again.
We are glad to see you too, Henry. Plus, I think that you have a surprise for us.
Ah, Mr. Holmes, it's impossible to surprise you, but perhaps a small clue would be useful. It is a testimony of my gratitude after what you have done for my family.
But, Sir Henry, to solve the Baskervilles case was indeed the most delightful reward for a detective like me.
Anyway, let me introduce my gift.
Introduce?
My dear Holmes, let me present to you the terrible Hound of the Baskervilles.
And Holmes gets a puppy. And so that finishes Sherlock Holmes and the Hound of the Baskervilles. And while the credits are rolling, I'll finish up this review. So, as I said before, the 3 elements I want to talk about. The gameplay. Gameplay was good. It sort of uses most of the standard sort of mini games and hidden object scenes that most hidden objects use, but it did have some unique games, and you know, they were a good challenge. Some of them, as you saw, I just had to give up on because I was never going to get them right. Hopefully, if you go out and play the game, you'll have better luck. The artwork, obviously stunning. You've got all these beautiful backgrounds. I'm sure whoever did the artwork for this is still nursing a sore hand. It's absolutely stunning, and it does indeed immerse you in the game and the world. And the storyline, well, took Arthur Conan Doyle's original novel and sort of put that twist on it of what if it really had been a hound from hell, and there really was a curse on this family, which was indeed interesting. And they did take a few liberties with the story and changed a few things up, but overall the changes worked with the story that they were trying to tell. And my favorite part, watching Holmes sort of be immersed in an actual supernatural event and trying to figure out what is going on. So yeah, it's a good game, and I enjoy it a lot. It's great for any Sherlock Holmes fan and anyone who enjoys a good hidden object game. And if you've actually sat through this entire video, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that you join me for more in the future. If you liked it, subscribe to the channel, and I shall see you again soon. Bye!